the name.
It's been a minute.
What's going on, bro? Give me a pound, man.
How you feeling?
We're in the house of Belal Muhammad. Remember the name. So how you feeling, man?
Good, man. Now it's at the point now where I'm just ready to go. Ready to fight. The last 10 days. Today's going to be the last hard sparring day. See how we feel today. After today, that's when we just tone it down.
Wonderful.
Ready to roll? Yeah. Look, first day is early. Even though you're late, you're still early.
We are in Chicago when you see these.
Green with all the goddamn dead fossil cells on your Jeep.
Dude, that's just natural dust.
That ain't natural dust. That's I didn't wipe it down.
Where's this morning gym at?
Basically at the edge of Rockford and Schaumburg, belly flow striking. This session is probably gonna be just hard sparring. So last hard sparring day before we start bringing it down some. So like the last 10 days is more so just cardio and lighter stuff, staying, keeping stuff sharp. So timing and things like that. So, but this is gonna be the last very hard day. When it came to being a fighter, like, everybody's goal is always UFC. And for me, like, I honestly believed that. I believed I could make it there. But, after you win a couple amateur fights, you're fighting and then you see a couple guys around you that you've known that they made it to the UFC, they'll fight once, then lose. Then they'll be out. And you're like, man, I don't want to be that guy. And then having a guy like Lewis Taylor, who's literally been with me since the beginning, like never got a shot into the UFC, and I'm sitting there like, man, what if I don't get a shot? What if it doesn't happen? What if it's not in the books for me? And then, but like having somebody like him who's been through it all, who's literally won 10 first round knockout fights and finishes, and you're like, how is this guy not getting a shot? And he would just be this motivate me. No, bro, it's gonna happen. Stay patient. It's gonna happen. You're not me. Just keep winning. It's gonna come. And then probably once I got to like 7-0, 8-0, then I was like, all right, I can make it. And then when I got into UFC, I'm like, I'm not gonna be one of those guys that goes in and I'm not comfortable just making it. I'm not gonna be one of those guys that's just happy that my goal is making it to the UFC. Like I literally want to fight for gold. And I want to be a champion, and I believe I can. And then once you start getting 4 or 5 wins in the UFC, and you're like, all right, I can compete with these guys. And now that I'm in the rankings, and now I'm on that ladder, now I can start climbing that ladder to the title. Like, now where it's like the momentum's really pushing. It's like, now it's okay. Now I really got to show these people what I'm capable of.
Oh, here we go again, yeah. Oh, here we go again. Let's do it one more time, yeah. Oh, here we go again. Oh. One bad stab and she's in my kitchen with too much heat. She got my flapjack slipping. No matter what I do, she wanna scramble eggs. 3 a.m. and the pot's still stirring. For all I know, she won't simmer till the morning. Going round and round till she gets her way. Oh, here we go again, yeah. Oh, here we go again. Let's do it one more time, yeah. Oh, here we go again. Here we go, y'all.
Everybody knows what Demian Maia wants to do. So he's brought in Gerald, Kevin, people on the ground, bigger and stronger than Maia, to help him implement that. Me, I like to always think outside the box. I'm looking at Demian Maia striking. It might not be the greatest in the world, but he's a professional. He's been a professional. He's at the top 10. Can't overlook his striking. striking, and we definitely can't overlook his grappling. So we're kind of gonna grapple in reverse and look to hurt him on his feet. The recipe to beat him has already been shown by people like Usman, but I'm sure Demian did his due diligence in fixing his holes. So I'm expecting a better version. He knows this is his last run. So we got to go up and be not only a lion, but a hungry lion on his last legs. So we're going in there willing to die, but we're going to come out the victors, no doubt.
I mean, what we're trying to create here, dude, is going to be, it's very difficult to imitate his ground game, right? But it's not hard to imitate his shots, right, dude? So what we're trying to imitate is Demian Maia's shot, right? So be prepared for his shots, dude. You know, so that's all we can do, dude. You know, it's just be prepared, be aware of all his shots, and then that's it. You know, go out there, but I mean, Belal, obviously he can grapple also too. You know, so we, of course, dude, there's certain of respect, but it's a fight. It's a fight. You know, we're gonna go out there. He's gonna be himself, and let's go, man. We can't wait one more week, and let's get after it.
A lot of the guys that he catches, you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Like you see me in my training right now, it's like a fresh guy on me every 30 seconds, and I'm dead tired. And these guys are a lot bigger than me, but it's like I got to be in that point where I'm uncomfortable, because that's gonna be the fight. The fight, Maia gets on top of you. He don't care about freaking laying on top of you, holding you until you move. He's not the type that has explosiveness where he's gonna jump on your back, do a flying triangle or something like that. He's literally gonna inch by inch by inch. He's gonna make you uncomfortable. Let me turn up, give my back. All these guys give up their back because he's just laying their pressure on them, making them like forcing his head in their head, putting his head in their jaw, and like forcing them to like turn, and then they get to the point where like, fudge it, let me turn and try to explode up. But that's what he waits for. He waits for that little inch. He takes it centimeter by centimeter, and I just have to be willing to. I got to be willing to stay there. I got to be willing to lose a round. If he gets down there in the first round and he takes me down, he takes my back, I got to be willing to stay there the whole round, just be safe. Not, oh crap, usually in a lot of fights, you get your back taken, you're like, oh fudge, I got to get up. With Maia, it's like, I just got to defend. When it gets to the late second, third round, that's when I'm going to break him. That's when he's going to realize, oh dang, this guy's still here? What is this guy still doing here? And then that's when he starts folding, that's when he starts trying to pull guard. That's when I have to like let him up. And I gotta just stay in his face the whole time, because a lot of the guys too, he'll be in that third round, he'll be tired himself, he'll be trying to pull that guard, but a lot of guys let him lay down a little bit, stall out a little bit, wait for the ref to say up. No, I'm gonna keep making you get up, and I'm gonna stay in your face until you break it. Yeah. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 20. Today was super hard sparring, having these guys, a fresh guy every 30 seconds. And then a lot of them are like overweight, 220-pound middleweights that are out of shape and fat. You got to just feel that weight on them and be uncomfortable.
Dang, Gerald, my shot. Dang, Biggie Rose.
Nah, Biggie would have been big.
So how far are you from your parents right now?
Oh, from my parents? My parents probably like 15 minutes away. So you'll see my dad right now. He's gonna go pick up some food, bring some breakfast over. Like literally, my mom cooks all the time. But that's the thing, I have to avoid going there because, you know, mom like, oh, you gotta eat. And then she'll sit there and make the most fattening thing. And then you work out 3 times a day. It don't matter. It's gonna come right off. And I'll be like, all right, like you want to make me something, grilled chicken and like cauliflower, right? Something like that. You have to tell her, because she doesn't understand what diet is and doesn't know that if I eat like literally a pear or something, I'll gain like 5 pounds randomly for no reason.
My friend.
What's up?
What's going on?
How's it
How
going?
you doing, Pops?
How's it going?
I'm good.
What y'all doing?
Waiting on you.
Waiting on me, huh? Man, these people don't know how to drive, man. Look, what's that? I ain't getting paid for this Uber Eats.
This is eggs and potato right here. That's a Palestinian specialty. This right here is tomatoes and beef. Really good. It's like a hot salsa. These are your olives. and beets. This one right here is like a cucumber salad, cucumber yogurt salad. This one's hummus, everybody knows that, chickpeas. This one right here is shredded beef. And this one right here is falafel. Best falafel in Chicago. Neil. All right, you guys can have this. I'm gonna have a salad.
We out for fight week for this guy.
Oh yeah, next weekend. Rolling, baby. Hopefully we'll come out of a successful campaign this weekend, next weekend.
No eye pokes this time.
Oh no, Demian Maia is he's not an eye-poking guy. Well, I mean, you hope not anyway. Well, it was kind of a shocking because, like I said, I basically wanted him to, put it forth and finish his schooling first. I said, if you wanted to do that later, that's no problem. But the idea was that you're only a semester or two short of receiving your degree. You should probably pursue that first, and then when you have free time, once you complete that, then you could probably pursue the other avenues that you want. But then he said, well, the other avenue is available now, so I'm going to take it, and then I'm going to go back and finish off my schooling once I've either retired or finished fighting, or when I have a break.
Honestly, the chances of becoming a successful fighter is not nothing you want to bank your family's future on. Especially now, if you're a single guy, you want to throw caution to the wind. Cool, but if you're get 28 and older, and you better go handle your business and start a real career. Because this thing you might make. Can you live making $6,000? Because some of these local fighters 5 and 5, 1,000 and 1,000. Yeah. If they make 2 and 2, they happy. It's very few that makes what the UFC is even giving, which everybody's complaining about, or what Bellator is giving. But
the Bellator is paying more from what it is.
For the bigger stars. Most of the stars are in the undercard, though.
My dad and my mom both like, you gotta go to school, you gotta go to school, you gotta be a lawyer, you gotta be a lawyer. And then even when I would fight and I would do it, my dad never came to one of my fights. So like he was always in the store. He was always working 12-hour shifts, 13-hour shifts. He's like never had a vacation, never did anything, never came to any high school sports or anything like that. So it was never one of those things where they ever thought that I would be doing sports professionally. So then when I would do it, even as an amateur, I would win a fight. Oh, are you done yet? Go back to school. Oh, what about now? Then I get into the UFC. All right, now we can go to school. Look at this guy. Look at my dad's friend's a lawyer and a judge. His son's being a lawyer. Why don't you be like him? Go finish school. Go do this. Go do this. And I'm like, now it's like over the top where I'm like, yo, I'm wearing a suit now, but now my suit's on ESPN. So now I'm wearing that lawyer suit, but now it's something different now. So it's like now they're really starting to understand it. And hopefully now the crowd's back to my dad's first time coming to a actual fight. Well, it's going to be cool. It's going to be awesome to see, like, for him to experience it the right way. The first person in the pool, you're going to go on your draws. Oh, dude. Yo, why you look like this? Oh, you got water in my throat,
in the middle of the air?
You got water. I got chlorine in my throat in there.
You stopped in the middle of the air, bro.
First person to dump you in the water. How about them stats?
I think 3 times a day he trains, never home, always sweaty clothes. I remember my mom literally has to clean his clothes every day. I get to see that this is what he wanted to do, He put his school stuff away. I mean, he graduated, but like, he didn't pursue with that. He pursued with fighting, and just how hard that would be rather than just being a lawyer and just going that regular office job or whatever. He could have had a way simpler life, but no, he chose this route, and he just went full force with it. So I get to see that this is what he wanted to do the most. This is what actually he enjoyed. He wouldn't enjoy being in an office all day 9 to 5. No, he wanted this. He didn't want to be an office worker. So it's just what he wanted to do.
The biggest thing I learned is I was always cheap. I was never one of those dudes that liked to spend stuff on crazy, outrageous things. I would never everybody's, why don't you get a nice car or like a Rolex or something crazy like that. But then now when you're realizing, when the world sees that with the freaking snap of a finger, you could lose everything, you could lose your job, you could lose opportunity to make money. Like you realize that the smart people, the ones that are actually the savers, the ones that are investing, that's where the real money's at. That's those are the ones that are really getting rich. When you always see these businessmen, these New York tycoons, that you're like, oh man, this guy, how these guys are getting so much money. Like when the regular Joe Schmo could do the same thing just by investing in stocks, just gaining knowledge. That was my biggest thing, especially during these times when I was just like learning more about the stock market. Like you don't have to sit there and everybody's so afraid of, oh, stocks are scary, but like if you learn about it, it's easy. And if if you just invest in the stocks that you trust, things that you know about, companies that you could learn about, like we have the internet at the freaking at our fingertips. Like literally you could Google anything. There's so many YouTube videos on how to do this or how to do that. Like you could learn how to be an MMA fighter from YouTube. So like you could learn so much if you go search for the knowledge. If you like really want to learn the knowledge, you could get anything. So like that was my biggest thing now is understanding stock market, understanding about these coins, and knowing that if you do the right things, make the right decisions, you could change your family's life and the future family's life without having to sell a million pay-per-views or anything like that, just by investing in the right things. And you see all these fighters, these retired fighters nowadays, but they don't have nothing in the bank account, and you see them, you're like, damn, am I going to turn out like that? Is that going to be me? Or like, should I do this or should I do that? Like, how do I change my life from their life? Because you see a lot of these guys, they'll sit there, fight for 10, 15 years, don't have no money in the bank account. They're sitting there training people for $50 an hour, and you're like, I'm not trying to be that. So like, for me, it's all about thinking about the big picture and thinking about knowing exactly what to do with my money right after a fight.
Bro, you're solid, man. Keep it up. You got plenty of great fights left in you, man. You're gonna kill it.
Man, my man. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Man.
Look who it is, you world.
I got some good news for you too.
Uh-oh. Where we off to now?
Now another practice. This is the original gym, the Chicago fight team. The worst thing about training is the commuting. The first practice is probably like 45 minutes away, and this one is like 30 minutes away, so a lot of my time is driving.
Sleep, you might call it death, but I'm only sleeping. You might call it death, but I'm only sleep. You might call it death, but I'm only sleeping. You might call it death.
He's always leaving us out all the time. I just train with him. I get no
what's
invites.
What's the white game you guys play with the bags?
Bags.
No, what do you guys call it?
They call it cornhole, but that's
Cornhole,
like
yeah.
Texas shit. We call it bags.
Yeah, I got bags.
You need the white rat.
I tell you, after this fight, it's gonna be the most epic barbecue you ever had in your life. People all the time ask me, man, I want to be a fighter. What do I need to do to be a fighter? And I tell them, like, yo, unless like mentally, like you want this worse than anything else you want in your life, don't do it. Because body-wise, mind-wise, like you have to know that it's gonna take years for you to even get a shot. There's so many killers in the gym. Like they say, there's so many basketball players that play street ball all the time that are the best in the world but never get a shot. That's what it is with fighting. There's so many great amateur fighters, but they never get their shot. And for me, it was literally just having to push myself mentally. When you get to 2, 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, like you're not making any money, getting paid $200, $300, but like your family, friends are like, oh man, how much they pay you for that? Thinking that you're getting paid like $10,000. And I just be like, yeah, because you feel dumb that you're doing this for like no money at all. But you keep telling yourself it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
It's not even about like what he's doing for our family, like just what he's doing for our country too, So like basically my family's like the whole country giving a name for us, and we just got a top contender, top UFC fighter, in the whole world, with us. He got that voice for us. So with him, I guess, yeah, it brings such light to our name, like, the Muhammad family, they shined this, they brought us up, we're Palestine, they like kept us in their sayings and stuff. So I think that'd be good for like our country. Everybody in Palestine knows him, like he has so many followers from Palestine. All my cousins over there would just talk about like they're famous over there because of him, you know?
It is not an all-out war, but it's awfully close. And right now, this back-and-forth firing between Hamas and Israel is preparing to take a pause, a temporary humanitarian ceasefire, so they can get aid into Gaza, where upwards of 1 million people are without water and where most of the casualties have been civilians.
I can't even do anything this morning. I just want to be a doctor or anything to help my people. I can't. I'm just a kid. I don't even know what to do. I get scared, but not really that much. I do anything for my people, but I don't know what to do. I'm just 10. I'm just 10.
If you think about it, you know, there's always like those keywords that people try to throw out: clashes, conflicts. It's not a conflict. If you look at it, it's the oppressed being attacked by oppressors. And I tell people all the time, like, Palestine does not have an army. Show me their uniform, show me their weapons. People don't understand that. Like, they don't have people protecting them. The people are the people that are protecting them. They have to protect themselves. So when you're putting it this way, like, if somebody came to your house, they told you, yo, you need to get out of your house. We're giving this to our people. You don't belong here. Just leave. What are you gonna do? You're gonna just pack up your stuff and walk out? If you don't walk out, we're gonna arrest you. If you don't want to get arrested, we're gonna kill you.
Super brave of him. A lot of people would, you know, rather not say, oh, I have a lot of, you know, people I work with that wouldn't approve of what I say and I could lose my business or whatever, but he doesn't care. Like, he's going full force with it. He's posting it online. People are just scared to even do that. Even if you see, like, I don't know if you know Bella Hadid or like really famous people who are getting like targeted like on New York Times and stuff, saying, oh, they support terrorist groups. Like, they could just make anything up just to, like, you know, make people not believe you, but just like he's going full force with it. Like, he doesn't care about that, you know?
Palestinians are not able to move around their own country without Israel permission. Like, it's an open air prison where if you go over there, they don't have electricity. They have a limit on electricity, a limit on water, a limit on this, a limit on that. And those same people that are limiting them things, they're the same people that are shooting you and killing you for fun. And where I tell people, like, what are they doing back? Why are they throwing rocks? Why are they stoning? I'm like, think about America, how crazy people got when the government told them to wear masks. The government told you to wear masks. The government told you can't go to work. And people protested. People went nuts saying, you can't do this. You don't own us. And all they did was tell you to wear a mask. Now think about it. The government put a limit on your water, a limit on your electricity, told you can't go to this part of town. But wait, this is just that next block over. No, you can't go there. The world lost empathy. Like, people don't have empathy. They don't feel for what other people go through. Like, even with when you bring it up where people are like, well, that has nothing to do with me. That has nothing to do with me. Like, the same things that are going on over there could happen over here. It could even be worse over here. And if you don't even shed a tear for children dying, mothers losing sons losing parents. There's literally so many orphans there now. Families have to, they have a thing now where, like, if you have multiple kids, like, you'll give one of your kids to your sister, one of your kids to your brother, because you don't know if your house is gonna get bombed at night. You don't know if you're gonna wake up in the morning. And that's what those people have to deal with every single day of their life. They have to wake up to that. They can't go to the park and play. Kids don't have a childhood. Like, kids right now are playing in rubble. They're sleeping in rubble right now. And people don't care.
Honestly, it's like super, like, I'm super proud of that. Like, he knows what he's fighting for. Like, even his name, like, I don't even know if he knows this, but like, I like how, like, remember the name. It could be like remember the name for like Palestine too, you know, so people don't forget that name, you know. And it's like he's basically Palestine, you know. Like, he wants a voice, people to recognize him, you know, as a fighter, as one of the top best ones. So as a country, you know, we're supposed to be recognized too. It's not. So it's just, it works both ways.
I've never seen him train this hard in my life. I've been training with him for 12, 13 years now. He's on a different mission. This is crazy, the stuff he's doing now. It's a lot smarter now. Shit, you were there earlier, right? When they were sparring? Those are hard-ass rounds. Those are top-level guys. Comes and grapples with us, high level. He just goes hard. He's grinding, man. I've never seen him like this.
Thank you.
All right, let's go. All right, boys. Sorry. Thank you, brother. Another day, another dollar. People don't see the behind the scenes, the work. They just see the fight. And then they wonder why after a loss, guys will cry, or when a fight doesn't go through. Or even after my last fight, you had so many people crying, like, why is he crying for? Why is he crying for? It's like, all the work I put in, everything I put in, it's like, you do it all for that one moment. Whether it's 15 minutes or whether it's like a 2-minute fight. It's literally all for that moment. It's like hours and hours and hours and rounds and rounds and rounds. Sweat, blood, anger, it's all in there. That's what's all right now, all for freaking 15 minutes. For me, what I want people to remember me by is just like knowing that I represented them well. You know, to be a Muslim and to be Palestinian, to, you know, it's a big thing, and it's like a thing that you really didn't realize that people look at you as. You know, when I sat there and I fought and I was on a main event, and to have the last name Muhammad on a poster, like I had so many messages from people that it touched, and like you're like, oh man, I didn't really think about it like that, but it was huge to them. And it, like, I had 1 million people asking for the poster just because it was the first time there was Muhammad on a poster. And for me, it's like, I want to be that guy that wasn't quiet. I was like, when I have a platform to speak, to have a voice for the voiceless. Palestinian people, they don't have a voice. They don't have athletes that you don't have Palestinian athletes that have a platform to speak on and to show the world what's really going on with them. And for me, I don't want to be that guy that shied away from it. I don't want to be that guy that was just quiet, and then they looked at me like, well, what did you do to help us? What did you do? Like, you say you're from there, you say you have their blood running through your veins, but like, did you assist us anyway? Did you help us anyway? And for me, it's, if I'm able to help or bring attention to a cause that the world is ignorant about or the world doesn't want to know about, I'm gonna continue to do that. And to have this type of platform, to be on ESPN, to be this guy that, you know, little kids, millions of kids all around the world look up to. Like, I didn't think it would be like that at first, but then slowly it started to get to that level. And then you have 1 million people that are telling you, like, don't talk on this issue, don't be political, don't be this, don't be that. But it's not being political. It's like literally just being for my people, for people that don't have people speaking up for them. And I want to be that guy that could change the world, that could change, you know, the lives of a lot of people. For me, I look up to a guy like Khabib, and I see him, how he represented the Muslim culture, and a guy who does that type of thing, it changed the world. It changed the way the sport is. UFC now posts about Ramadan, they post about everything, and they never did that before, but they did it because he was a champion. He was a real champion. So those little things, they mean a whole lot. Like, now Muslims around the world are watching fights, and they're saying, hey, who are these other Muslim fighters? And it's not about like being segregated or anything like that. It's just about like, now this group of people are starting to realize, oh, there's Muslim athletes, there's other Muslim athletes, and now it's making other people not afraid to show that they're Muslim. You know, people like try to shy away from that. Now you're seeing boxers come out with that. You're seeing NBA players being Muslim, and it's a beautiful thing now, because now it's like people are realizing that, you know, there was always that stigma of Muslim terrorists, Muslim terrorists, Muslim terrorists. But now it's like, oh, wait a minute, this guy's a Muslim? I didn't know this guy was a Muslim. Wait, he doesn't seem like one. Like, what did you think it was? What did you, like, you think they're gonna wear turbans and all this other stuff? But like, it just shows that anybody can be a Muslim, and it's about the way you hold yourself and what respect you hold yourself in. I just want to be that guy that always did that.